Overall impression, first of all?
Credit where credit's due. I think the reason they've got such a target on their backs is their ability to stay in arm wrestles and land that sucker punch when that opportunity presents itself. I think in terms of opportunities, I thought we probably created enough to win 2 games of rugby there, but that's where we've got to develop and grow as a team, is to learn how to stay in that fight and that arm wrestle and show that stiffness that them fellas have shown, putting 4 rings on the fingers.
How did you not have a try in that first half?
You'd have to ask some of the fellas that was out there. Just incredible to the watch, and I think the board's been wiped off there, but our focus on what we did with the football was to finish further upfield, to be able to kick better. Not to score on every opportunity, but we just that penny just didn't drop. Unfortunately, we got into a bit of space and almost forgot what to do with it, I suppose.
You broke so many times from deep, didn't you? Was that a tactic?
Yeah, and again that tactic was to finish further upfield, to be able to kick the ball better in good ball, but not to score on, like I said, on every opportunity. But sometimes when you're giddy and you're excited and there's a lot of people screaming behind you, that's not what's running through your head.
But at the same time, you broke so many times from deep, but you didn't have many good ball sets.
No. It's ironic. Yeah. We didn't see too much ball because of those errors, unfortunately. So it was almost we make a break, then come sit back on our char line. It's a funny old game on that one.
Talk us through the penalty try. I think he probably scored if he didn't have his head taken off. Yeah, I think it's probably the right call. Was Wellesby lucky to still be on the pitch?
I don't know. Look, I ain't an official. You'd have to ask the man in the middle that question. I genuinely don't know. I think the fact that he stayed on and we scored put us back in it, but unfortunately we just didn't take the opportunities past that.
There were quite a few players that took head knocks today. Castleford players. Were you concerned maybe that some were unpunished?
I don't know. I don't think the officiating cost us today. I think that's probably the least of our focus this week. As I said, I think growing as a team and being able to stay in that arm wrestle longer and coming out the other end of it is an absolute priority for us.
The commitment, though, the desire.
You can work with that. You can do that. You can do something with that. This week's been a difficult week for me as a coach. I've had that knot in my stomach all week because of last week's, because of what went on last week. But today, you can do something with that.
So the guys that didn't play this week that played last week, were they all performance decisions?
All performance, yeah. Yep.
How did those guys take that?
Hopefully, you can only answer that in actions. Words are very, very cheap. So I'll tell you in a few weeks' time. That's by their response, I suppose.
Moose Mustafa looked like it had a very strong debut. Would you agree?
I thought him and Albie had a crack. The interchange got muddled up and hurt us a little bit. Probably didn't go quite like I'd have wanted it to, unfortunately. But sometimes that happens. But yeah, we've got a short turnaround against Wigan, a 5-day turnaround against Wigan, which is going to be enough of a tough encounter. You talk about Super League sides that have showed over the years the ability to stay in the ground. Well, probably got 1 and 2 over this 7-day period, I suppose.
Just last thing for me, Radford, what can you say about the Beretta try that wasn't at the end?
I don't know what. I think you'll have to write it because I've not got. I don't know.
You didn't need to be that close to the touchline.
You only need to touch the front white line with the ball.
Have you seen enough from last week, Lee, to see that, as you said to Jamie, the plenty of work?
Yeah. Like I said, last week it's the oldest coach's cliche in the book that I didn't see that coming. the pre-season itself had been a good one. I thought we'd showed up with the right mindset in our pre-season games. The set on field last week was outstanding, but obviously there was that going on in the background. As a coach, you're not in the sheds when the players are talking about that. You're not in the living rooms when they're at home talking about that. So you don't know. There's no gauge on. You can't gauge that. And I don't want that to be an excuse either for last week's performance. Last week's performance was not what I want to be about. And the response this week was far better.
Jim, on 3 or 4 breaks in that first half. You took him off 20 minutes to go. Was that performance or was that injury?
No injury. He's back. Unfortunately, stopped him from moving as fluently as he'd want to. Yeah.
Is it too early to say prognosis-wise, or is it just a spasm?
I don't know. I don't know. I've come straight from the changing room, so yeah.
Spoke kindly of Broadbent earlier, and I think when he went to wingers, especially, he really got involved.
Yeah, just again, just to probably had this conversation previously. I like what he's brought. I like how he goes about his business. I liked his last 2 performances. That's been so far. That's been a plus for us, definitely.
What sort of headaches, selection-wise, you sort of anticipate for next week?
You want some. The fact we've got some blokes ready to go is a good thing. The team eventually will pick itself on form. I'm sure of that. But at the minute, it's a little bit stops when you're changing 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. It's too many. There's no consistency in your performance or selection when you're doing that. So you want the team to pick itself as soon as it possibly can. And I feel like we've given everybody an opportunity in these first 2 rounds. Some have taken to it better than others. So hopefully they can, we can settle that down sooner rather than later.
And over 10,000 here today. Does it feel good to be back at home?
Yeah. It's it always is. Like I say, just really disappointed we couldn't get the job done. Suppose if you're a supporter, watch a neutral watching that, it'd be a great game. Went from one end of the field to the other. One team couldn't put them away, but unfortunately, they did. So there's certainly some edge of the seat stuff there, I think.
And how do you bridge that gap between yourselves and Saints? You know what they do. How do you get to that point in the future?
Yeah, there's so many changes that need to be made right across the club for that to happen, from top to bottom. Like I said, it's no. They're an elite club probably in every department. Changing that in a club is difficult sometimes.
Is it personnel, facilities, things like that?
Everything right across from junior scouting to talent pool in which they have in the surrounding areas. The dropout they get from Wigan, obviously. The Widnes not having, if Saints coming for you and Widnes coming for you, there's only one decision there. Lee not having a current youth system as well. They've got an incredible pool to go at. But when they get them in there, they nurture them incredibly well as well with the facilities, the coaching setup that they have, and the production line just keeps feeding.
Do you anticipate making any changes for next week?
On a 5-day 10 run, I'd say yeah, definitely, yeah. I don't know who, I don't know when, but I would imagine so, yeah.
Just with your tactics about going wide today, it paid off really well. Was that specifically to target Ritson, or is that something you're looking to?
No. That was to target space. That wasn't a player. That was space. Notoriously, they defend tight. There was space on an edge. We felt if we got it there early, there was some metres to be had. What you do on the back end of those metres is obviously the most important part, and probably that's the bit we got slightly wrong today.